Hello, welcome to the MCTC Anime Club review. I am Crimson Lord.
My name is Dante.
I'm Selena.
Due to some circumstances, our president couldn't be here today, so I'll be leading today's review. And the movie we're going to be reviewing is the live-action sequel to the Rurouni Kenshin movie series, Kyoto Inferno.
Well, what I could say is it was well filmed. I like how they did it. They mixed it with a lot of old stylish things, so I did like that. Some parts were just like, oh my god. For me and my kids, it was just like, wow.
Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl.
Yeah, it was damn good. I don't really read. I'm not good with reading subtitles. So I want to watch the what's happening. But in this, I did read the subtitles, and I was very happy that I did that because this was it was so good. Oh my god.
Right, so to sum up the story, for those of you who have been following the live-action Rurouni Kenshin movies, this is the sequel to the first part, but in this movie we get a glimpse of the villain that's from the anime and manga series, Makoto Shishio, is that right? Yeah, basically he's like the villain that was created due to the military actions of the old era, which Rurouni Kenshin left. And yeah, this guy is majorly screwed up. I'd say he's basically the personification of all the hatred and violence of the old era before this new prominent one.
Like how he was stabbed. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Don't forget being burned alive.
And burned alive. Oh my god.
He was.
First of all, in my case, first he was stabbed. For me, I thought they were gonna leave him and then let him bleed. Later, it was more stabs, but even more focused. And I'm just like, just let him die. And then later on with fire, and I'm just, okay, now it's overkill.
He's a persistent little Poppy J. That's what he is.
Although if you look in some manners, I can see him probably surviving. I mean, there are some instances where sometimes people burn wounds to seal them quickly.
True, that could be true. Honestly, I didn't even think about that, but still.
Because I know there might be some people watching this who are thinking, how the hell can he still be alive after being burned alive and being stabbed before that? For those of you who are naysayers like that, burning wounds, sealing them up, crisping the blood, making painfully makeshift scars, there's your scientific analysis of it.
I could give you guys, sorry if I cut you, but...
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, moving on to the other characters, our main one, Rurouni Kenshin, who was once known to most in this series as Himura Batosai, which is another name for kill sword. But that's the past that Rurouni Kenshin wanted to leave behind.
Yeah, he didn't want to be referenced as that name, because many times what I've seen were like they would mention his name and later on it'd be like he didn't want to hear that name again. I could kind of sense on his face there. So.
But unfortunately, the plot of this movie is centered around those that he wished, things that would bring up his past, or trying to revive him as he was before. Old enemies, old traditions, basically stuff he didn't want to go back into, but now is being forced to.
Yep.
He didn't kill anyone, which I was impressed with because at one point when he what was the guy's name that he hit with the sword and then he like passed out at the shrine?
Sword Hunter Joe?
Yeah, I thought he killed him, but it was like, oh no, I just knocked him out. I was like, oh, I mean, I thought you were like back to the old ways, but I guess not. So
yeah, who needs a Vulcan grip when you can do that? But yeah, I'm actually surprised they actually managed to fit that, because just like the anime, there are times when Rurouni Kenshin has a look in his eye when it looks like he is going to kill somebody. But that's how it is for some of these anime main protagonists. They usually have some dark side of them they try to keep under wraps, but under stressful emotional circumstances, that side kind of takes over for a bit.
I just want to point out that when when he was fighting, like I can't remember what scene this was, but in anime I know they do where they have like the hair in front of the face and you can't see their eyes. And they just look really like they look really crazy, but you can't see their eyes, but you know they're serious. I was like, the anime, the way they do the hair, it was like a few times I seen it, I was like, this is really good. Holy shit, this hair scene is nice. I like this.
Anyway, on to the next character. I think her name was Miss Kasuko, was it?
Kaoru.
Kaoru.
Okay. At first, I thought she was a thief that wanted to take her soul.
No, that's somebody else.
Oh, wait, which one are we talking about?
This was the one who was poking people.
The one who taught Rurouni the no-kill style of fighting.
Okay.
Basically,
Miss
from what I can understand, she's a stand-in master for somebody who taught Rurouni Kenshin how to fight with a sword without taking knives. Is what I like to believe. No. Okay, now this movie has got me wanting to watch the actual anime series.
Isn't that the one that?
She was the girl who was poking people. With the yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is that's the one that basically was? I thought it was a thief at the first when she was presented.
No, that
She was. She started in the. She was one of the characters in the first scene.
Oh, okay. Now I know. Sorry about that. Now I know which one you guys are talking about.
At least I know for one thing that she and Rurouni actually share.
Kenshin. His name is Kenshin.
Kenshin, my bad. I'll just stick at Kenshin for the rest of the review. Let's just say she and Kenshin, it seems they have some kind of a special connection. Emphasis on special.
Yeah, because from what I know, there's like, I could say there's some romance in there. I'm not quoting that, but I feel like that she got into his heart and freed him from those chains that he had from his past, and now wants him to be in a new life, have a passive, peaceful life, and all.
Yeah, she definitely had a good influence on him because when he was on the boat fighting everybody else, she kept telling him, don't do it. And he was like yelling like, oh man, I'm gonna do it. And she's like, don't do it. And he was like, okay.
Next we move on to the other character that comes up, who's really got a very loud voice, and let's be honest, most animes involved in this type of era always have someone like that. I think was his name Saito something?
Sanosuke?
Right. Big, loud, basically the type of guy you would see as a thug.
True.
But the type that hides a big heart who's concerned for his friends.
Yeah, and I thought he was a brawler until he took out that huge sword of his. No.
You mean, I don't know if that sword can actually be used for cutting.
True.
The sword reminded me of the sword that Guts wielded in, what's it called? Berserk, yeah. That's what it reminded me of, and I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna see some good-ass swordsmanship right here. And then it was just like, nah, we'll save that for another time. I was really disappointed in that, but I like the sword though.
Yeah, but to be honest, he kind of seemed to be using it more of a club than an actual sword.
True.
Although for some reason, seeing as how he's a brawler and uses that thing more as a club, he kind of looked like an ogre as a human.
Honestly, that was a huge sword, and it looked thick, like it was made out of Kratos sword, the sword of chaos. Kind of looked like it was made out of that.
But still, there is one other type of person Saito is.
Sanosuke.
What?
Sanosuke.
Saito Sanosuke. He seems like one of those types of guys who try to act cool, but then they screw up at a crucial moment.
Oh yeah.
True.
That fight scene, that's what got me when he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and it was like, no you're not, and then he left to go help his friend, and it was like, your face is fucked up still.
Actually, he was talking about when he tried attempting a pole vault.
Oh yeah. That was comedy gold right there. I thought he was going to make it halfway, and it was like, oh, no, he's not. He had stopped right in the middle of the river, and it was just like, I'm going down. And then I thought he was going to find his sword, and it was like, nah, I don't need the sword. And I'm like, okay.
All right. Next, now we can talk about the thief. Someone else want to introduce that character?
Her name is Misao.
I thought she was a guy at first. I thought she was like a young dude because I couldn't actually see her face with the hat on. And then she ran, and I was like, "The hell's going on?" And then it turned out she was a girl, and I was like, "Okay." And then later on, it's like I actually have a rich ass family, and I'm gonna steal them because I want to be rebellious. And I'm like, "What?"
Wait, I thought she wanted to steal the sword just so she could get some travel fees.
I think
Yeah,
I
travel.
remember.
Yeah,
That's, oh yeah, she said she was like on her travels. That's right.
yeah, but still, she had a rich family for some
Yeah.
reason. And another thing that I saw that, well, now I'm noticing that I was confused as a moment ago, because I thought it was her with the Makoto and the freaking stick poking thing. I thought it was her, and then now I'm noticing that she was the one.
She was a ninja.
She was, well, yeah. Is she a ninja?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was a ninja, and she got right in the moment where, I forgot his name. Oh my god! But he kills the old guy, and then she's just standing there, and I was like,
Alright, the guy who has it out for Kenshin.
yeah.
Her dreams are crushed after that point where you see her face and the thunder is like, I'm like, girl, your dreams are crushed. You're gonna have a whole life shocking moment right here. It's like, you find out it's actually not butter. It's not butter. It's gonna be like fat.
Anyway, bringing up the character that we mentioned, that would be Aoshi.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, basically, to sum up what his role is, he's got it out for Kenshin because, thanks to him and his boys didn't get to be all badass during the war.
So, wait, that's actually the only reason why he's so looking for him?
It's because he wants to prove himself that he's the greatest. But he never got that chance due to something happening in the war when they were delegating treaties. And as a result, him and his men were going to be executed.
Oh, now I understand.
Because that was part of the agreement. What was that group called? The something?
Guards. Yeah.
It was like,
Oniwa?
Oniwa? Was that it?
I know it started with an O.
Somewhere around that.
Well, let's just say he was part of a specialized guard during the war era that was going to be extinguished because that was part of the treaty and negotiating between Edo's surrender and something else like that.
Yeah. Another part where when we first meet him, at first I thought it was a long sword that he had, but it's two swords, just stick one on the top and one on the bottom. Which for me, it's kind of difficult to see that, but it's his style, so I would judge that one.
You know, what surprised me now that there was some hidden compartment in the hill that lets him connect the two katanas.
Mm-hmm. And how he beats the shit out of the poor guy.
Well, the guy wasn't all that bad. He kept switching weapon after weapon to fight him. That's what's called adaptive fighting style.
True.
But then,
Towards the end, I don't know, I just didn't like, because at first I thought he was an assassin. I was like, oh, Jesus. And then he wasn't an assassin, but he kind of was. And then at the end where he killed the old man, I can't remember his name, but where he killed him and it just walks away and he's like, I'm still looking for Kenshin. And I'm like, and he's walking over the bodies and I'm just like, you're still on this? You just...
he's on a warpath, so to speak.
I was just like, what?
He can't leave his past.
I'm waiting for him to die. I'm sorry. I'm just waiting for him to be just fucking croak.
Well, further along from that, I think the only other character we can explain about is that guy who sparked Kenshin to have to go when he assassinated someone named Okubo. What was the guy's name that works for Shishio? Short guy.
The kid?
I know you're talking.
The short guy in the blue kimono that...
He has like the black kind of short haircut.
Basically the guy who smiles when he's fighting someone and about to kill
I
him.
can't remember his name. But, yeah. We'll go on this plane. He's a psychopath, honestly, by him just laughing in mid-battle.
Well, you have to think he was brought up by Shishio, probably to be some sort of a killing machine, who shows no remorse when fighting or killing.
I wanted to know about that. Is he like kind of an adopted son to him then?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, so.
Kind of. Yeah.
Point is, every time I saw this kid, it kind of reminded me of that one character from Tokyo Ghoul, Juzo.
Oh yeah.
Good one. I can see that one. Yeah, because he has hair and all that.
No, it's more like because he looks like a kid, but yet he can also be a cold-hearted killing machine.
Honestly,
And
that is
so
good.
there's no remorse for the taking of lives.
Yeah. I think he's like the right hand of Shishio, and like he'll like order him and he'll do it. Honestly.
I want to really know more about him too. Like,
Yeah.
what's the story?
I wish there were more characters we can go into, but I'm guessing we don't get much detail about them till the next movie, I believe. So we'll just move on to the movie's good points. What did you guys think was good about it?
The fighting scenes were incredibly just really good. Like the sword combat, the flying in the air kind of part that kind of lost me. But other than that, I mean, everything else was really good though. I can't lie. That was really good. That's what I liked about it.
For me, it would be the way how they were changing from being in prison to the past. For example, if they would have not done it for when he broke his sword, I was like thinking, why is that meaningful for him? And
I think that's like the part of his movie where it's like the character loses everything, then has to go on a journey where he looks back at his past before he's given a new sort of blade or power.
yeah,
Comes back stronger than before.
Yeah,
It's a basic plot in most samurai movies.
That somewhat reminds me of Samurai Jack.
yeah, and yeah, I like that how they did with the story. I wish they gave more. Like if there was more that I could see, because I was actually really like I want more.
Same.
Well, if I had to point out something I did like, I kind of like the quick draw scenes they did when they showed Kenshin fighting someone. The first one, not so good since his blade ended up getting broken, but he did dull the other sword. But I like the other one where he went against the sword hunter Cho. That quick draw moment was badass.
That was a good one, honestly. They just needed they needed like show folks of him going to the other one and him in the center. I would have been like, spot on. But it was still good.
So, any parts of the movie do you think weren't as good or could have used improvement?
The flying in the air scenes, they really lost me because I know I guess it's just when they do that, a lot of people, I don't know, they do that in movies where they're supposed to jump in the air really high and then they kind of like do weird stance. They all do that, but I just feel like it wasn't really necessary.
In my case, it would be more story, and
So you felt that you should have tried to explain the backgrounds of some of the characters more?
yeah, and more fight scenes, I could say.
Well, if there was more fight scenes than story scenes, then we wouldn't understand the plot of the movie at all.
I feel like there was a lot of fight
True.
scenes.
I kind of feel like I missed some, honestly. And a little bit more, well, that's in my case. The lighting, how they did it, it felt like it was still modern in my case. I would have liked it if the light would be more like in that era,
Like,
in my take.
Well,
just change the light.
I have no complaints about the movie. I thought it was honestly pretty good.
It's pretty good. I would recommend it, honestly, like
Yeah.
100%.
Well
Just
then,
listen.
If you, for someone who doesn't read subtitles like that, you're like, I don't like these kind of things. I'm gonna wait for the English version. Don't wait for the English version. Get this version because this version is
actually, it has
There
you-
was a
no,
dub,
it's-
but
Yeah, but the problem is when it comes to dubbing live action, it pretty much sucks.
Yeah, just do the subtitles because it was worth it.
So, on to scoring. Who wants to start it off?
Is it 5 out of 5?
Yep, still.
Solid 5.
Mine too, 5 out of 5 swords.
I'll give it 5 out of 5 as well, and yet another A scoring. And that makes, I would say maybe 4, 5. And the current record is But who knows? Anyway, for the brief moment, we're going to be doing this will be the end of our review. Join us next time for our next review. Till then, this will be the MCTC Anime Club signing off.
Bye.
Vamos.